Both have now been arrested. Both are under investigation for the same offence. Both face their files being thrown open for all to read.
I will work, my department will work, and the whole of government will work for maximum transparency and timeliness.
Nice to see you.
Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's time as UK trade envoy will be raked over as documents are released. The Trade Minister, speaking on behalf of the government and breaking tradition with decades of warm deference towards all royals, denounced the King's younger brother with contempt.
Colleagues and many civil servants have told me their own stories of their interactions with Mr. Mountbatten-Windsor, and they all betray the same pattern. A man on a constant self-aggrandising and self-enriching hustle. A rude, arrogant and entitled man who could not distinguish between the public interest, which he said he served, and his own private interest.
Gather round, please. I don't want you all saying looking formal.
Soon after announcing that he was leaving the Navy to take up his trade job, Andrew faced repeated criticism for use of private jets and helicopters.
The comments that are made about an extravagant lifestyle and so forth. Is that fair?
What is an extravagant lifestyle?
Allegations grew that Andrew had actually been making side deals for himself on trade missions. The release of the Jeffrey Epstein files has now triggered a police investigation into misconduct in public office and Andrew's arrest.
This one they're saying, Azerbaijan 2014, we've got so much material we can't even help you.
Yes.
The biographer Andrew Lowney has been submitting Freedom of Information requests to the government for documents on Andrew's work as trade envoy for 5 years. With little success.
And all these piles, virtually, this is all you asking for what supposedly we're going to get.
No. Yes, well, hopefully, exactly. I mean, it's going to be enormous if it's true, because I mean, there must have been over 10 years he was doing, I don't know, 10, 20 trips a year.
I think there were complaints, but unfortunately, ambassadors found that if they did complain, it didn't help their careers. And so they decided, it wasn't worth it. I do know that the Permanent Under-Secretary at the Foreign Office did have a safe where a lot of this material was put.
The complaints?
The complaints that came from him. There were lots and lots of reports coming back, and everyone just turned a blind eye or decided it was just too difficult to go there.
The King and the Queen were handing out awards to universities this afternoon, just as a minister of His Majesty's government attacked his younger brother's behaviour. The same minister said governments had been plagued by uncritical deference to Andrew, even when his connections with Jeffrey Epstein and others should have been condemned.
I'm afraid the willful blindness of far too many at that time was absolutely spectacular, and it still angers me. The then Prime Minister, the then Home Secretary, and many others in government defended Andrew time and time and time again.
Peter Mandelson returning home at 2 this morning from his arrest and hours of questioning at Wandsworth Police Station. The Liberal Democrats, pushing for publication of the files on Andrew's government work, said Peter Mandelson had 25 years ago been a strong voice backing the then Prince Andrew's appointment as trade envoy.
We've seen the reporting that the King, then Prince of Wales, expressed his concerns about that appointment. More alarmingly, we have read that Peter Mandelson wrote to the then Prime Minister Tony Blair, as his former Trade Secretary, pushing for Andrew's appointment. One friend of Epstein lobbying for a job for another friend of Epstein, a job that might help Epstein enrich himself. So we clearly need to get to the bottom of that appointment and the role Mandelson himself played in it.
Together at the European Commission when Peter Mandelson was Trade Commissioner there, a deluge of government files will soon be shared on both of them. The first tranche on Peter Mandelson could come as early as next week.